we've done a review of all our free trade obligations to ensure that they are designed consistent with that. And we will, related to that, if I may, Jacques, we'll be making adjustments to the way the Canadian International Trade Tribunal operates, which is something that's internal to Canada. So many of the constraints are actually self-imposed on ourselves.
Now, this policy is also stipulating that ministerial approval will be required if there is a decision to buy from abroad. And that raises the question, will that potentially create backlogs if a project is waiting for a minister's signature before it can get the go-ahead?
So, Marina, is there anything that could hold this Buy Canadian policy back and make it difficult to implement?
Yeah, so there is questions about how this will actually be implemented and sort of what sort of regulations the federal government will be putting on these policies. And obviously this is a good politics idea in the sense that Canada is facing a threat to our sovereignty and our economy from the United States. But we are also dealing...
I'm sorry, and if you're Canadian, I'm sorry if I may come off a certain way, but don't really care. Isn't it crazy that the U.S. is saying, hey, look, we just want things to be a little bit more reciprocal. And if you don't follow that, we're just going to keep raising it higher and higher. That your economy, that your survivability as a country was hinged so much on us that the minute we start making moves and changes, that, not saying you guys are on the brink of collapse, that's not what I'm saying, but it seems like you guys are just going to fall apart unless things are, like, changes are made. I'm hearing that, and it doesn't sound insane to you. It's kind of like what happened during COVID, right? When like the countries essentially kind of quartered themselves off from each other, and we realized as a country, I don't know what happened in Canada, but I know in the U.S., we realized a lot of our medical supplies that we got were from other countries, namely China, and we realized, oh shit, we're kind of fucked. I don't know. I don't know if other countries looked at that. I don't know if like the governments in other countries looked at that and thought that was kind of scary and thought, okay, we gotta make some changes. It can't be, and maybe it is. It cannot be that us making changes threatens you guys' sovereignty, as she stated, so much. Like, how much were you relying on us then? That's the real question. And why? Was it just cheaper? Was it better? If someone can explain that to me, please, because I understand it. I'm seeing it. You know, I don't blame them for wanting to just do Canadian shit. That's your country. You do what you want to do. But it baffles me a little bit.